You are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
Dub T motherfucking dub, ho.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves.
Whoop.
And this is episode 116.
That's right, let's get it. You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't
I got the answers, though.
Hey.
Hey.
You already knew.
Hey, hello, everybody, and welcome yet again to another beautiful episode of the Ambition Hour podcast.
Woo. Let's go.
I am so blessed to be here and appreciate all of you guys for joining me yet again for another beautiful week. This is your first time here. Welcome. Hi. How you
Welcome.
doing?
That's my quarantine voice. Welcome. She said welcome.
And if you haven't realized, we're in quarantine.
quarantine.
Yeah, so I just wanted to go ahead and say to the new people who are here, I appreciate you for joining us. Make sure that you join the WW fam. All you gotta do is just hit the subscribe button, the little bell on the side, and boom, bam, you're part of the family. If you want all things WTW, all you gotta do is head on over to the website, WTWrecords.com.
Huh.
We have a lot of new stuff coming.
A lot of exciting stuff. We could talk about it. We just got off a conference
We just
call
got off of a conference call
with
so
the whole
that was
with the
pretty
whole
cool.
crew. You know, so shout out to Spitz, Gaz, Sosa, CAB, and you know Adi's always with us, or Claudia Renee is always with us. The A&R.
I got to hear. Well, I've heard Hav's project in its entirety.
It's coming soon, man. I'm
It
excited.
It was nice
Very
hearing
excited.
it back to back. Not even gonna front. Even though I probably have heard it back because I've heard your sequencing for it already. So I'm really excited for the rest of the world to hear it now. So that was awesome.
I'm excited for you guys to learn more about it too.
Yeah.
I'll make sure y'all know about it. Stay tuned. What else is new?
What else is new? Well, as we start every single episode, we are going to start this one by saying what we are grateful for. So this week, I'm very grateful for music.
Thanks.
Music is just so beautiful. Like music, because I was listening to different things this past week, and I was like in my reggae bag. I was in like my old school bag. Some new music came out, so I got to listen to some of the new music, and I'm really excited because it's just like, hello, it just gives me so much more to talk about on the podcast, and then it hypes me up a little bit. We're gonna talk about the new music that I heard later on, but I did want to emphasize on the music aspect because I feel like it's something that has just pushed me forward and helps a lot with my anxiety, helps a lot with overthinking and just like thinking about everything. Nothing beats getting lost in some tight beats and some lyrics, or like a nice little voice, R&B, some good instruments, or something that makes you want to dance or even takes you to a different place. So shout out to music, man. The one of the albums that sits heavy in my heart is Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox. And it like because it reminds me so much of turning 30. It reminds me of like the last couple of days of me being a 29-year-old and just like finishing my 20s. And then it reminds me of like going to New York and just being in New York and listening to the album there, and just like that like I felt like transition in my life, because birthdays are a transition into the next year and to the next person of who you're going to be. So that's an album that just like resonates so much with me, and it's just so sensual, just so like, listen, if you haven't heard the album and you listen to this podcast, I don't know what you've been doing. Because it's a really good album, and I just love that album. One of my favorite songs is FaceTime. And then Speak to Me. I watch her Tiny Desk, her NPR Tiny Desk performance literally like once a week, because I just like to have something in the background. Like if I'm doing something, I just like to have I like to have sometimes even acoustics, like someone actually performing in front of me. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Tiny Desk series, is because of that reason, and just like hearing it differently than how she has it in the album. And just like her voice raw is just so beautiful, as you can tell. I'm a little obsessed with Ari Lennox. As you know, I am with some other female artists, but she's the one who Just like I'm telling you, that album just brings back memories. Just brings back amazing memories. So I'm really excited. I've been happy all week because Insecure came back. Can we give it up for the season 4 premiere of Insecure?
Congrats, Issa Rae. Another win.
Thank you so much, girl.
It was worth the wait.
We literally waited from 2018 till now. We waited damn near a year and change for this project. Like, I mean, for this season to drop.
She dropped the album.
Oh my God. And the thing is that they're I think they're like 30, 45 minutes. So they are like an album because there is music, there is just different vibes that happen within the show, and like there's so many different aspects. And honestly, like Issa makes sure that each episode has really good songs attached to different parts of the show. So it's really cool to like hear what she's going to use in the episode. And then there's like little hidden things that they have, like some things on the billboards that like have to do with like Black culture. And it's just really dope. And then like I said, the music that she uses, and she normally uses like artists that a lot of people don't know or they're coming up, and just represent like the aesthetic of the show, and even like the person that Issa is, and just what happens in the show. I'm getting really ahead of myself, but it's because like that's one of the most beautiful things about the show is the music, and how there's an episode when Issa sees her ex Lawrence, right? Now I know there's Lawrence Hive out there. Shout out to y'all, but this is Issa Hive right now. Just like we the Beehive, we also the Issa Hive. And but what ends up happening is that they see each other for the first time in a super long time, right? And they see each other, and then a song by Sampha called 1,000 Kisses, I think, or something like that. They just play the song, the intro of the song, and the way that moment was so concreted perfectly in like that scene because of the song and how it played, and how as soon as they see each other, the song that the artist, for some reason, he like if I'm not mistaken, in the first season, a good amount of the songs that she was playing that were Sampha's, she would play it when it was scenes of them two together, or maybe a couple, like maybe not every single time, but there were a couple of times that I remember him being, you know, the soundtrack between their relationship. So then when they see each other again and he play that song, it's like, whoo, what a moment. But that was last season. But that's one of the best examples that I can give you guys is that one. And so she comes back this season. She's starting up her own event, so she needs to get sponsors. So she's meeting up with this girl who she met at Tiffany's party, or at an event with Tiffany. And if you don't watch the show, then you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you do watch the show, then you know what I'm talking about. For those that don't watch it, just chill. You know, it's not a spoiler alert, because by the time you watch what I'm gonna tell you, if you're like catching up, you're just not gonna remember. That happens to me when people tell me shit. Okay, so pretty much, they end up having an event that is for to get sponsors for. She wants to do a block party, so she wants to get like people to perform, and she wants to help the youth, and she wants to like, you know, get things going. And so the episode is with the premise of that. And there's like, because how Issa in these shows, what she does is that she has like a show within the show, and each season is a different type of show. So she just has different type of actors, like Ray J is in that show. So there's like different like guest appearances from like, you know, top celebrities that end up being in the show within the show of Insecure. So it's a really dope show. It has different layers, so I always suggest to watch it from the beginning. I did do a poll on my Instagram, which is rather interesting.
Shout out to everybody that's following on the Instagram. Make sure you guys always, instead of skipping that story, go ahead and tap one of those options. For
real. And okay, so you guys, if you were listening earlier, I did mention that the whole relationship between Issa and Lawrence, okay? So now Issa and Lawrence, they end up breaking up. I won't say when, but they end up breaking up, right?
Aww.
Yeah. So they end up breaking up, and Ravy B posted on her Instagram on her Twitter, a really good question that I felt was very good to ask my followers, because I wanted to see where everybody's heads at was with this. And so it says, real question: does anyone want to eventually see Issa and Lawrence get back together? 53% of my followers said yes, and 47% of my followers said no. Now,
I shouldn't have got her started, bro.
I just want to know why I want to see them together. And so people, like, because I asked that, right? Like, I asked once I gave the results, I asked, like, that question. And so people were actually telling me, they're just like, oh, well, I want to see how they, they've both grown. They're both mature. So, they'd be good, now. And it's just like, okay, I get it. Got it. Noted.
Noted, man.
Noted. Okay, but now, what about if, yeah, okay, so they're both mature, but what if, like, them getting together, like, just doesn't even work out? Because this is the way that I look at it, okay? So this is why, for me, I voted no, if you can't tell what I voted. Also, because I've gone through the whole, like, makeup and breakup, and actually, if we're being quite honest, their relationship actually reminded me of mine, at least my longest one. Yeah, and at least it reminded me of my longest one. And just, like, there were so many similarities in that, and it was kind of like, oh,
Kind of got PTSD looking at this shit.
I was like, wait a minute, why does she know this much about my life? Because that's how, like, relatable that relationship was to me. And so for me, it's just kind of like, okay, like, the whole back and forth and breaking up and getting back together, and you just see that and you're just kind of like, I don't even want that for a fictional character. Like, I don't want her to go through that. And then because even, like, okay, so with the longest relationship, a lot of people, they're just like, oh, well, would you ever get back with so-and-so? And it's just like, well, no. There's many factors. But one of them is, like, the argument that people give is, oh, well, you guys have both grown, this and that. You both have matured. And it's just like, no. Like, we both have matured, but it doesn't mean that our mature selves deserve to be together. Because our immature selves, like, and the thing is that it's not even, like, immature. It's just, you just don't know. Like, when you're younger and you're in a relationship, like, you don't know what you're doing wrong. How? You're freaking 30 plus years old and you still don't know what the fuck you're doing in relationships. Like, if we're being really honest, like, it takes a lot to be in one. And so when you're not mentally prepared for that, it's super hard for you to be able to commit in certain ways and be able to maneuver in these circumstances, because you're just kind of like, I'm being super vulnerable right now, and, like, I don't like that. That's actually something that in the Division project, if you haven't heard it, we're gonna be talking about it later, but these specific lyrics that this girl said, it's like one of the outros or something like that, and they're asking her about, like, vulnerability and stuff, and how, like, it's very hard for her to be vulnerable. And I'm not 100% sure which song that is, but I know I felt those lyrics when they were saying it, and then they bring the girl on, and then you're just like, oh shit, that's why music is so good. Because you just feel it when these lyrics, you just feel them. And so yeah, so it's just very hard for that. Like, it's sometimes even hard for you to be like, hey, I really like you, or like, I'm really enjoying this, whatever this may be. Because it's hard to be vulnerable, and it's hard to like I said, it's hard to maneuver through these things sometime. And so yeah, so going back to the whole Issa and Lawrence thing, it's like, okay, so now I have to be vulnerable with this person who already hurt me. Like, I already know you hurt me. I already know that we're not good for each other. Like, I already proved that, like, when I first did it, and I did it again and again happen again. Like I'm good, you know? And I feel like it's the same thing with their relationship. With their relationship, like they went through what they went through, and then Issa's just a completely different person now, and you see the growth, and you see like the self-reflection that she's done, and it's just like, oh wow, like key character. And then Lawrence comes, and then you're like, we know nothing about him. How dare we say that he's matured? We don't know nothing about him. We just know the little parts and pieces that they've given us, you know, within the seasons, and that is it. So I'm gonna need y'all to relax, okay? I love all of you that voted, but those of you that vote, and then there was an okay, so there's actually a girl that I know that she was with her high school sweetheart or something like that, and I think they took like some time apart from each other, and then now they're like married and they're on their third kid. So in some cases it works, but then listen, hey, those are just meant to be. I don't feel like Issa and Lawrence are meant to be. So that being said, that is about everything that I could have given for, well, actually I didn't give anything away for episode 1, so make sure that you check it out. I just brought that whole breakup thing because if you haven't watched the other episodes, then like I said, you're gonna find out anyway when this happens, and then you're gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't know what Claudia was talking about. Yeah.
Tune back in so now you could watch what was in the previous and learn a little more. Personally, I think they shouldn't be together.
Yeah, listen, first of
and
all,
I only know what Claudia tells me.
honestly, okay, so my favorite person is Kelly. So if you've never seen the show, Kelly is one of the writers of Insecure, and she's also one of the actresses who plays one of the characters in the show.
It was super fun.
Funniest girl in the show for me. She has a scene in the Coachella episode, and she like, 'cause she pisses herself, and she's just like, remember me different, bro. When I tell you that every single time that I've seen that, I've died laughing, like tears crying out of my eyes, because she wanted to see Beyonce. So yeah, yeah, and this episode, it was funny because she was trying to like help Issa get a sponsor, but it was like hinted that she had to have fucked the sponsor for him to give Issa money, and it was just like a whole funny thing going on. Like I said, man, watch it. They're fast as fuck. I bet you can finish the freaking you can finish the series in a couple of days. Shout out to Chloe Money. She watched it. Finally, man. I've been telling her forever to watch that shit. Don't you hate when like you tell your friends and it's just like, oh man, yeah, I just watched it. Well, it's because I can't blame y'all. Y'all got time now. But all got kids and shit.
Thanks.
So I was gonna talk about the RZA and DJ Premier battle, but I really wanted to get into the new music real quick before I got into that.
Well, let's just talk about that because how it shows the appreciation of music.
Tú sabes. Okay, so the RZA and DJ Premier had it on the louds. I was there front and center.
Probably was there, front and center.
I was there.
I was there.
I was there front and center. Listen, Jada Kiss was in the chat. You saw Method Man in the chat. Nas was in the chat.
Pusha T talk about, I think I got robbed to this. Or
Black Thought was in the chat. Questlove was in the chat. There was so many other like rappers that I was just like, holy shit, they're watching this at the same time as me. We're watching this together. This is so dope. And then just like watching the commentary and just like each time somebody played a song, just like the feeling that you would feel when they would play. And Parks saving the day.
Parks.
He's the one who called DJ Premier. It was just like, you're tell do you say tell the RZA?
Yeah, how did Parks lay those bars down?
I bet you Parks knows RZA, and no, I don't think he does, because when he said, oh, my listen to Premier, my engineer.
Hey, he knows.
my engineer said. And so basically Parks saved the day and got a shout out from the NBA. I seen it.
we are witnesses. No pun intended.
I was like, damn, that's pretty dope. But yeah, he really did save the day, and it was a really dope battle. They ended up going longer than the normal 20 tracks that they're supposed to go between the both of them.
Who do you have win? Well, I mean, of course, music won tonight, and that's why I wanted to talk about it before we got into new music. But
the culture one.
But who did you have winning that one?
Okay, so realistically, I had RZA winning, because of who is in Wu-Tang. like because of who is in Wu-Tang. Now, the beats that Premier has made, and like how he played songs from one of my favorite albums. Like I was for me, the music lover in me, of course, was, and just like based off of who Premier has worked with, for me it was just like, oh man, you know him, because he was a part of two of the most influential albums in my opinion, actually, and even with Biggie's, because he was in the first album of each person.
Nas, Jay,
he was like Nas, Jay, and Big, and so that to me just off rip is just like, oh shit, like yeah, you know, you have RZA who was behind a whole group, and bro, when they were playing those Method Man songs and like just like so many different like beats, and when he would be like, oh yeah, like I got a doll from Brooklyn, and every single time that you said Brooklyn and RZA said Brooklyn, you just knew that some ODB shit was gonna come blasting through the speakers. Like that to me was just like like it was just so like body chilling, like when he would say that and he would just play it and then you would just hear the beat and you're just like, damn. Of course he's like, you know, of course he's behind this beat, and it's not that you forget, it's just they're also there to remind y'all fools, you know. Like they're here to really like put on and be like, yo, yeah, like y'all know who we are and y'all know that we're legends, but sometimes like we forget. Like even myself was just like, oh shit, that's right. Because there's like a Christina Aguilera song that Premier was behind, and it was just like, oh shit, that's right, like I've heard that song, I never knew that he was behind it. So it was really cool. And then I found out some other things. For some reason Kanye saying me and the RZA connect never connected to me because I found out that day that what is the name of that song, Hav? The last track from Watch the Throne. The one that he talks about his son.
Yeah, I think it's called
A New Day.
Yeah, New Day, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is New Day.
The thing for me, I remember that song because of when we went to go see them perform, and they were like on the steps.
Yeah.
And then like you just saw,
and we spoke to that song.
New Day. Yeah, and it was just like a really cool like connecting moment for them too, and it was really dope. So like I said, realistically, RZA, my heart said Preem.
Halfway. Take a few
man.
steps back to go.
And Primo,
the answers, man.
Primo got his nickname from Angie Martinez.
That is a heavy feat, but
and he was the one who produced Angie Martinez's intro for her first radio show, which is the beat from Unbelievable.
All I could say is that I appreciate RZA way more. I don't know who won, honestly, guys. I don't know who won, but I just RZA, just his comebacks and like just like damn, because you know like some of these records that I just couldn't believe I was picking them over it, and it does say a lot to versatility. But I love it, seeing someone stay in their pocket and mastering that own sound. You know, their own touch on it was something remarkable. And shout out to the RZA, you a genius and a legend, and so is Preem. Sorry, Claudia.
No, you're fine. Both of the stories, personal and podcast page, both voted for RZA winning. So there you have it.
The W stay up.
You the people.
Dubs up.
Voted. Your vote matters. So that was a really cool thing to watch. I actually did some cool shit right after. I hopped on a FaceTime. It was like a group video chat. It was my sister and her two brothers. I know. It doesn't make sense. They would be my brothers too. They are my brothers. And so I jumped on the group chat with them, and we basically did like a song battle between all of us, and we played songs until like damn near 3:00 in the morning, and it would be like, all right, whose turn is it?
What you got next? What you gonna play? What you gonna play?
Yeah,
oh no, I'm about to kill you with this one.
Yeah, I'll kill y'all with this one. Then you press play, and then like the you know, your chest pokes out a little bit more. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
That's something that like I feel like it works with some people that you're like you're cool as fuck with. You know what I mean? Like especially for those of you who, you know, have because there's people who they miss like the seeing the people.
Yeah.
You know, like they miss seeing, and it's just like I ain't new to this. And my family's lived in California my whole life. Like I can never see them, so I'm okay. Damn. You see how your childhood trauma messes with you?
It just be popping up out
It
of
just be
nowhere, bro.
popping up out of nowhere. It'd be like, I didn't even plan on talking about that, but it's the truth. Something that has helped me with this quarantine, and like why I'm even open to like doing the whole FaceTime thing is because I know like my family wants to see me, and like it would always be like you would wish that you can do that before, and it's crazy that it takes for something like this to happen for us to connect in the way that we should have been connecting the whole time, especially since we live far from each other.
Well, me and the RZA connected plenty of times.
Tough. Yeah, man, that live was pretty cool. It was like 2 hours, man. I was in it commenting. It was so dope, man. Gotta love hip hop for real. Like when I say the culture one, it's the truth. It's the truth. That's gonna go down in history forever.
Yeah, that is gonna be history right there. I think. And Diddy, like how Diddy was saying on Quarantine Radio last night, just it's history right now.
It is history.
What's
He
going on?
got Raven Simone on to take a shot with him. Oh, guys, if you haven't seen my Instagram story, that shit was hilarious. So Raven Simone was on Quarantine Radio. For those that don't know, Quarantine Radio. If you don't know what it is, have you really been quarantining? My mom's seen it. Like, my dad has too. My dad has too. We ain't shit, Huff. But yeah. So have you really been quarantining? If you haven't been tuning into the quarantine, or at least have seen it somewhere like Shade Room or something like that, or at least be familiar with what it is. It's Tory Lanez's live that he's been doing. He's called it Quarantine Radio, and it's been so much fun just being a part of the lives. I don't miss it. I'm make sure my phone was charged, but when he announces the time, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta charge my phone. Let me go do something productive so that way I can get ready for the ratchetness. And he ended up picking his winners because he was giving away cash prizes, but he couldn't say it after some time. But he was supposedly giving some pretty good cash, and then Pretty Little Things donated some money, so their name kept getting brought up, so it turned into like a low-key little business. I see him though, and them. They're very smart because a lot of girls are watching that. And so yeah, so it was just pretty cool. So that's gonna be something that's part of history because of the numbers that he did and the people who he would get. He got Raven Simone hops into the live, and he plays the That's So Raven theme song. Legend. That's one of the best songs ever. BT Dubs intro songs to a show. And what's funny is that I've been watching That's So Raven because I have Disney Plus. Shout out to Disney Plus.
If you guys don't remember.
Misbehaving. Oh. Hang down, but just hang down. Put it right down. Hey, being wrong, but right now. I. Yo, and me and House saw that live, and it was
We was there.
It was so much fun. And then the next day, I saw her jump on the live and take a shot with him, and it was just so cool. Like I'm telling you, like this is really cool. And sometimes I feel like something like this is needed because we're just so caught up in like scrolling on social media and like seeing different things, and you see funny and then you see sad and then you see this, and then this was just like entertainment. This was just like music. You play the same songs every single time. I'm saying this because this is the last episode that he's gonna do until I think next month or whenever. The beaches opened up in Florida, so he's probably out. He probably did something. I don't know. But yeah, the beaches in Florida open. Don't know. Listen, I'm staying my happy ass over here, okay? Because I don't even go to the store. If I need to do something, I have to drive through. I'm driving through. Oh, quick tip for those of you, if you are living somewhere, or because I know in Miami things are probably going to start getting picked up again. That's what it looks like is happening. So I did want to mention that if you have car insurance and you are working remotely, make sure that you call your car insurance company and you let them know that you can get a lower rate because you're not driving as much. They do ask you how many miles you think you're going to be driving within the next 3 months. You let them know. I have Geico. Just letting you guys know, that way, you can save a couple dollars, and then, because you're not using your car as much. So if you don't know, they usually base your rate. One of the things that they base your rate on is the amount of miles that you're going to be using your vehicle. So, yes, that was a mouthful. I get a little serious and I don't know how to breathe right. That's just like in that video, Hav, the one of the schizophrenic.
Oh my goodness, that thing is the funniest thing
Guys,
ever.
if you have, okay, so first of all, I'm so like this man. I really believe that he is sick and that he is schizophrenic. But like, it's just the interaction that he ends up having with a security guard. It's like
He ain't even got a bag.
yeah, he's just like, you like know that like something is wrong with him, but he's like fucking with the security guard, and then he's just like, this is the Uber driver that stole my money, and it's just like, what? like so you're taking out everything on this one person, right? And it's just so it's just a funny video. I posted it on my Twitter, you can find it there. But cause he's just like, oh, I'm out of breath. Yeah. And then he's just like, oh man, like calm down, like relax.
He goes for a fucking kick.
Then he goes for a kick, bro. That video is freaking hilarious. Okay, so I have a couple things on my thing. I wanted to say happy 10-year anniversary to Kush and Orange Juice. Clap it up.
Classic.
You remember when that project dropped, Hav?
I
and like
remember
listening
that
to
day.
it. And like listening to it and being like, oh
Jesus.
yeah, Kush and Orange Juice, that sounds cool. Like,
Facts. We got
and then
8 joints
drinking
rolled
it,
up.
yeah. And then
Let's
like
go
drinking
get orange juice.
And
Wiz
like
on it, man. Shout out to Wiz, man. He gave us the blueprint.
he really did. Wiz is such a great person, and he's also been on Quarantine Live on radio, and like just just been a part of it, and he'll like leave comments and stuff. And man, I remember listening to that project and just like the so many different tracks that he has on it and the vibes that he has, and just like the memories of like even hearing it like in your car and like just experiencing it that way, and how the beats would make you feel.
That's why music's so great. It takes you back to that time. Come on,
Man.
man. Music appreciation episode.
That's why
Damn.
that's why let me, because I want to open up the
track list.
my recently played list.
The Kid Frankie.
The Kid Frankie, Up, Never Been, In the Cut, Rolling
Say She Never
Doobies Up,
Been.
and then Still Blazing. Even for him to have like a kind of like a reggae kind of vibe with the high boy rap and what is it? Is it
Memorize is on there. Oh
No.
man. All that shit bad to the bone. That last song too. Shout out Nesby Phipps. Shout out the Hotel Gang. Cardo got a lot of beats on there.
like even the skit?
That right there is classic.
What is this?
I would love this on the vinyl. They got the vinyl out. Make sure y'all check that out. TGOD Dub T.
And then they smoke on my weed, Jack. Dog,
Roll it up,
me, roll one for me, roll it up. Hey, God. Oh, come on, man. I just played it again.
Bring it back.
But this one, I'm gonna play this part right here real quick, and then I just like, yo, y'all don't understand. Like, I was blasting this shit. I think I seen him in concert too when this shit dropped.
Facts. You definitely did, Claudia.
And that shit went hard. Wait, that was what, 2010?
And
When
I
it
probably
dropped?
fuck your bitch.
Probably did.
Real shit.
We
We never always Taylor gang or die. We supposed to go. We never
and Crit and Currency are on here too.
We supposed to go.
I always keep.
We gonna get flagged by YouTube.
Facts. We gotta keep on talking. Yo, shout out to my people in the back. Shout out to my people in the back.
To all my smokers,
Shout out my smokers.
make sure your shit lit right now. Go crazy. Go.
Hey.
In the cut.
Man, if you
roll
know, you
doobies
fucking
out for
know.
real. All right. I just wanted to say happy 10-year anniversary to that motherfucking project because it's so dope, man. I'll fuck with it. And thank you, Wiz, again for that project.
Man, Wiz 10 years in the game, man.
For real,
Thank
man.
you, bruh.
That was pretty fucking dope. So now we're gonna go ahead and head on over to new music.
Hey.
So last week I talked about the Tory Lanez project. And so quarantine radio works because he got me listening to the project.
Is it your first Tory Lanez project that you listened to?
The way that I've listened to it, yeah, because I did listen to Chick Tape 5 a lot.
Damn.
Like, I liked it and I enjoyed it, and I have a couple that I really enjoy from there, but it's not something that I've gone back and listened to and enjoyed since it dropped. But this project, I hear myself listening to it a little bit more. It's a good cleaning album too. I mean, they should do but clean. It's getting to that point where it's just like, shit, I guess I'm gonna just like start deep cleaning everything. And have I, boy. Today I actually vacuumed to the new Westside Gunn project.
Boom, 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 boom.
I felt like my vacuum was a gun. I felt like I was Cinderella with the Glock.
Shout out to those features, man. He got Wale on there, man. That Wale record, that French Toast.
Wale, that French Toast is really dope. I'm a Wale fan, so I was soup.
But
when
I like
heard
Wale in that pocket, that beat.
Yes, as soon as Wale started rapping, I was just like, yes. Okay, so I wanted to mention this because I like this album more than like the other album, the one right before, which Hav said, which was
Hermes.
I like the song that he had with Currency, Lucha Brothers. That song go hard.
Yeah, Hitler was Hermes 7.
That song was in my playlist. Definitely had that song. But I do enjoy this one a lot more. He has this one called Party with Pop Smoke, and I really like it because there's a girl who is in the song, and she's basically doing like a spoken word, and she's talking about how like the more felonies that he has, or some. It's like a poem dedicated to her drug dealing felony charges man that she's absolutely obsessed with, and I feel her because, you know, who are you to judge? And see you, queen. And
the kids at the end.
And then the kid at the end saying that meaning you got a rental or some shit like that, and then like you could never be my dad, and just like, you know, both talking their dad. And I really liked it. Another one that I enjoyed was the Tyler the Creator one. The one with Freddie Gibbs is so good.
Yeah, $500 ounces. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I said that right. $500 ounces.
Hold on, let me.
Then you also got that Versace one. Benny the Butcher, you know, Betty Butcher Conway is on here, and that record is hard.
The Allah Sent Me is good.
Yeah, and then Sean versus Flair. I like those names. Nah, man, I think Gunn says that he's about to be almost done. So, man, this album right here.
There's one that he's just like, I don't care if that thing has 500 stones. I want it to have more. If that means it needs 800. I was like, ooh, you better put more shit in that man's shit.
This motherfucker spin.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a skit. It's not somebody rapping. I think it's like a it sounds like a WWE fighter, no?
Oh, but yeah, it's probably Ric Flair, yeah, or some shit.
So like him just saying that, and it was like, no, I want a gold. I was like, I feel him. I would want a gold too. And there's like other little things too that just like really caught my attention for that project. It's a really good project, man. I really, really enjoyed it. That's what I was cleaning to. And then the first album I listened to today was a Division album, Muse and Her Feelings. Now this album is really good. I love me some Division. And it's toxic. I'm gonna say it right there. It's toxic, but they sing to you in a way that you don't feel that it's toxic. And then you're like, oh shit, he's not really talking to me that way. There was something that he said. I wish I wrote it down for you guys so that way I can tell you exactly what it is. But I was just like, damn, that's the Instagram caption. like, that's the Instagram caption. I think it's the song that he has with Jessie Reyes, if I'm not mistaken. They have a couple of they have a song with Summer Walker, Snow Allegra, Chantel May, Pop Can, Buju Banton with Ty Dolla $ign, and then they have Future, Jessie Reyes, Party Next Door. So yeah, I've heard that project at least a couple of times today. My favorite song is the one with Chantel May. Listen, Chantel May, we got to see her performing live when we got to see Division perform in concert. She is their backup singer. So they had this part in the performance where she would come out and just basically like sing a solo, and it was really, really good. And I was just like, holy shit. I don't know who this chick is, but her voice is amazing. I have to record her. So I did. And so she is a part of, I'm going to play the song real quick, because I feel like there's a sample in there. Oh, there isn't. Oh, it's that Daniel. Mm-hmm. He uses like he uses kind of like a sample, kind of like of a Backstreet Boy song in the beginning. That's what at least it will remind me of. So that's a really good song. I really like it, especially that she's featured in it. And then we ended up getting an announcement saying that she's going to be dropping a project. So I'm really excited for that because, yeah, she's a really good, singer. Like I said, I'm going to try to see what else. The song with Jesse Reyes is really good. The song with Future is dope. The whole project, both of the projects that, I mean, actually all three of the projects that I've mentioned, the Tory Lanez, the Westside Gunn, and the Division, are projects that I've heard multiple times from beginning to end. So I can proudly say on this platform of mine that they are audio approved.
You heard it here first, man. They got that stamp on them.
They sure do.
Oh yeah, and Future dropped Purple Rain, and that
Oh,
shit
he
brought me
did.
back to them days too, just like how Kush and Orange Juice did. So, shout out, man. The Perks is calling.
The Baby came out with a project. I haven't heard it. If you've heard it, please let me know.
Comment below. Is it worth checking out? Claudia's not. She's not sold
did
until
not
10
read-
people tell her that to listen to this album. So
That is the truth. That is the truth.
be one of the 10.
I haven't seen nobody. I've seen people talk very well about the Westside Gunn project and the Division project. I haven't heard the same for the Baby.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
You ain't got the answers, man.
I'm
You ain't
just
got the answers.
saying. No, okay. So if we're being real, because now I feel like being real about it. Last project of the Babies, I actually listened to it from beginning to end, and that was enough for me to know that I didn't want to hear it again. I think there was a couple of songs that I ended up really liking, and I remember, we went out one time and the DJ played it, and I ended up asking the DJ what song that was, and he ended up telling me, and it was the Baby song. So it happens, you know. It happens. If you've heard it, you let me know. So I talked about all the projects that I really liked. We celebrated Kush and Orange Juice like it deserved. Okay, so with quarantine happening right now, something that's happening is we have the time to kind of like reflect on some of our relationships. And we also have time to reflect on, how can I say this? Communication with those friendships. 'Cause sometimes you're kind of like, oh, I haven't talked to so-and-so in forever, and I should see how they are doing, and X, Y, and Z, if you get my drift. Okay? I can break it down a little bit more if you need me to, but that's where I'm trying to take this to, okay? Because I want to have the conversation and open up the conversation about, there's some people that you just don't have to hit up, and that you shouldn't feel obligated to hit up because, let me see, because I want to say it how I wrote it. Okay, someone missing you and the hard shit about being quarantined and feeling like you have to reach out. That's what I want to point out on, is that you kind of feel bad, like, oh shoot, like I should really be reaching out to, you know, my cousin who's possibly going through whatever hardship she's going through, or talk to so and so because they might be going through something, and then this and that, and it's just like, oh, but wait, like these people also aren't hitting me up either, so why should I go out of my way to like hit them up if they're not even checking up on me, like even after the fact that they possibly found out something that was happening in my life and still not even reaching out to me. It's just like, oh, but then it goes back to, but you're not doing it either. So it's like, it's just a really crazy back and forth thing that's been going on. Maybe just in my head that I'm sharing it with y'all. But it does raise the question of like, okay, like, should you be hitting up on somebody who's not really hitting you up? You know what I mean? Like, if they're not really taking the time to be like, oh shit, let me see how so-and-so is doing. Because they also bring up the whole thing of like, oh yeah, you should, you know, talk a lot more to family and things like that. And it's just like, okay, but sometimes like talking to your family is kind of just like brings you down. Like sometimes, like depending on who you're talking to, because like sometimes we have to remember. Said this the other day, and shout out to Pusha T. Like you're not built like me. Like we're all not built the same. You know, and that's very true. We're not all built the same, so then none of our intentions are the same. So when you hit up somebody, it should be based on of your good intentions. You either make it, you know, it's nothing. Like I'm the type of person that if I want to hit somebody up, like listen, I'm gonna hit them up. I don't give a fuck. Like don't give a fuck. I'm at the point right now where it's just like, I don't give a fuck. So if I'm not hitting you up, that means I really genuinely do not care for how you are doing. You know what I mean? Unless like there's a lot of exchanges happening in social media, and then there's just so many different factors. There's also like the whole thing of like, I don't always want to be talking on the phone with somebody. Like, there's just so many things to unpack here when it comes to this conversation, because of course there's times where I'm like, oh man, maybe I should use this time to kind of mend this friendship that maybe went bad. But then it's just like, why? When before that relationship was something that you weren't trying to mend anyway. Like, what's changing now because there's a pandemic happening, because they might die and you might have that in your conscience? There shouldn't be that type of pressure that we should have. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't have that type of pressure. We should all quarantine or all be, you know, keep our social distance and do exactly what's going to make us happy at the end of the day and what's going to fulfill us. So if your intentions, sorry, I've been drinking some wine. If your intentions are pure, and the reason why you want to reach out to this person is pure, then don't ever feel bad for it. Now, if they don't respond to the way that you would maybe be hope that they would respond, like, it's okay. Do what I tell my brother. Fuck him. like fuck him. Like, fuck and fuck it. Okay, and that's it. And that's just pretty much to sum it up. Was that good, Hav? Do you feel kind of like where I'm coming from when the whole like not hitting people up, but like you miss somebody and then you're just kind of like, oh, but they're not even hitting me up. Like, why am I?
You have to remember that the phone works both ways. I think that's what you're trying to remind us.
Yeah, man, the phone works both ways. There's people in your life that have shown you that they deserve to have a place in your life because they have remained consistent. They have remained, I guess, loyal in a sense. Like, for me, it's easier to communicate with certain people because it's just like, yo, I already know that, like, you fuck with me. You fucks with me, yeah. Yeah, and then, like, I know that I fuck with you, so fuck it. Like, you know, I'm gonna talk to you during this quarantine. But I know for some other people, it, like, fucks with them, and they're like, oh, let me hit up, you know, so-and-so. There's some people who possibly hit up their exes. There's some people who, you know, like, I don't... Exes... Nobody has them. I don't. No, let me stop saying that shit. I'm gonna get a text.
Yeah, and shout out to the people that, yeah, their home life isn't as great. You know, try to remain positive. I know either your relatives get on your nerves or your parents don't see eye to eye. Either try communication, and if you tried that, just stay out of each other's way and make sure you're keeping your mindset straight and narrow.
Yeah, if we're being 100, this quarantine life has taught me that a bitch gotta move out.
That's a fact.
Homies is looking at their parents like they is bugging. I love you. If you're watching, you're my favorite person ever. All right, so before I close up the episode, I wanted to point out something that I am watching, which is Top Boy on Netflix. Dope show. Of course, it has the whole drugs, the shooting, the killing,
drugs, sex, and violence.
The London, the sex. Yeah, was there sex in the first? I don't remember. No, but and then they had that. They talk. They have an accent, and it's different. And you get to see like how London is, besides the glitz and glamour that they show you on TV. So it's kind of like the nitty gritty of it. It's a really good show. I'm already starting. I think I'm on like the second episode of like the actual Top Boy, because it's Top Boy Summer House and then Top Boy. If you didn't know, Top Boy is the one that Drake is behind with 40 or Future. Just kidding.
Shout out OVO.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That in the Division album.
Yeah, they're the executive producers of that show. So they actually brought the show back because it hadn't been picked up, and then they picked it up, and yeah, it's a pretty good show. I fuck with it. That's something that I've been watching besides That's So Raven. Gotta have balance. Gotta have a teenager having visions throughout her school day, and then you have
some reality for your ass.
You know, you have Top Boy, you know, selling the
Shit
finest,
could get real.
the finest food.
Sometimes you don't see what's coming.
The finest food that London has to offer. Guys, tomorrow, today's Saturday, Dub Saturday. Do not forget, tomorrow is MJ's Save the Last Dance.
Is it the Last Dance or Say the Last Dance?
Is it Save the Last Dance?
I think it's just the Last Dance.
It's just the Last Dance. Am I in my
motherfucking dub.
Just gonna help you out there.
Yo, I'm thinking
Shout
of
out to Save the Last Dance.
yeah, I'm thinking of the movie. Hold on.
Facts, yeah. What's my girl name?
Sarah. That's where it is the Last Dance. Why did
Say the Last Dance, bro.
I have it in my notes that Save the Last Dance.
It's the wine, bro.
I have it saved. So they pushed up the Last Dance series. It's 10 episodes, and if you don't know what or who it is about none other than MJ, Michael Jordan.
Well, and the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
And their dynasty.
And the Chicago Bulls and their dynasty. Well,
with
yeah.
interviews featuring everybody that you want to hear from.
Oh,
And
you know what?
extras.
It's just that MJ has been like so highlighted.
Yeah, I mean he's MJ.
Of course. That's like what I was saying earlier. I was saying this earlier. This is why I'm so well versed. He was talking about how like no matter if there's 3 more LeBrons, there's always gonna be an MJ. Like it doesn't matter. Like how
I'm sounding like bars.
yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't matter like who comes out. Like it's just like no, but I'm MJ. Like it doesn't even matter. Like who doesn't even matter. Like I'm MJ, and that's just something that's just a great legacy to have. Like that you're just so great at what you do that you are cemented in that history for the rest of time. And so that's why I'm really excited to watch it. I grew up watching the Bulls play, so I'm really excited to watch this as well. I'm gonna watch it as a family. It's gonna be awesome.
I wonder how many episodes. Is it just releasing
10.
one? No, but they're only
Oh,
doing
they're
one?
only listing one tomorrow. Yeah.
God damn it. All right, see y'all next week. But oh yeah, if y'all looking for shows, Ozark, I finished season 3. Great show. Jason Bateman does a great job on keeping that suspense and that high level of on the edge vibe so well. Check that out during quarantine. What else we saw? We also been seeing like some good dope like older movies. Like we've seen Bad Boys 2. We you've been watching all the Disney stuff. I watched Smart Guy, and that's always a good time. I'm gonna watch Even Stevens too. That shit funny.
I stopped watching Even Stevens and I started watching That's So Raven a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, those are for you that have Disney Plus. You know, you can catch all the Disney movies and vibe out. Also read. I've been reading The Fuck It Diet. There's some other books that I'm also listening to and reading and just trying to, you know. And if you don't feel like doing none of that shit, it's okay, man. Like, do whatever makes you happy. Like, whatever that is. Because I know for not everybody, like, the whole reading thing, or they even feel, there's some people who get anxiety from the pressure of having to do something that people say is productive. So listen, if you don't feel like doing anything, or if you're so busy that you're taking care of your kids and you're having to cook all the time and you're also having to teach school, like, listen, I feel for you. Listen, positive thoughts to you, and I just pray nothing but self-care for you, because me being somebody who doesn't have those type of responsibilities, is very easy for me to come on here and be like, yo, make sure that you're on top of your fitness, make sure that you're on top of your eating, make sure that you're on top of this, and make sure you're on top of that, when like I don't have the same responsibilities as you do. So make sure that you cater your quarantine to however it is that you want it to be, because listen, at the end of the day, it's your life, boo. Live it. I think that about sums up the episode, huh, Huff?
I think so. I think we're good.
All right, guys. Make sure that you follow me everywhere. Ambition Hour on Instagram and Twitter. Audie Ambition on Instagram and Audie_3000 on the Twitterverse. You can catch me on both. You never know what I'm gonna say or what I'm gonna post. Damn, that kind of rhyme. Bars. I'm gonna have to start pinning when I drop bars on the episode, so I can come out like, oh, I can just put all of these together.
There's my 16.
There's my 16.
Bam.
All right, guys, for the 116th time in a row, it's your girl Claudia Renee on your airwaves, and we are out of here.
Sway.
It's the ambition hour,
You
bitch.
ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Ambition hour. Hey, hey. It's the ambition hour. Hey, hey. It's the ambition hour. Hey, hey.